All right, Liz and Ruby, I've got us pushed out to Facebook Live. Let's share our slides and then how about we get started?
Sounds great.
Ready.
All right, everyone, welcome to the November YK Connect and Protect Lunch and Learn series. Today we are going to be talking about holiday ready internet, and I am joined with my pal Liz, that if you've been a part of these at all, you know Liz, you know myself. But we are happy to have a very special guest with us today, Ruby Hibben with Vantage Point Solutions. And let's jump in and talk about everything that we are going to cover today. So we're going to talk about that, holiday internet overload is real. And we're going to talk about some of those real life scenarios. And Ruby's going to be kind enough to share what's going on in her life with two young kids and being a mom and everything with the holidays coming up. And Liz and I are going to offer some YK solutions, tips, and tricks to work through some of those holiday headaches when it comes around technology. We're going to finish up after that with a holiday ready checklist that we've got ready for you. And then, like always, we're going to go into anytime you need support from those of us here at YK, we're going to talk about how you can reach out to us to get that support. We're going to do Q&A. If you've got questions that come up during the presentation today, feel free to go ahead and send those in and we'll address those as they come up or save them till the end. But we'll definitely get your questions answered. And then we will talk about our next event, which, Liz, it's going to be our last event in December. So if you want to come back and join us for that one, we'll talk a little bit about that, what we've got in store for December. And last, we'll do our promotional offering. We've always got a promotional offering at the end of these presentations, right before we close out, and we draw a gift card for Lunch on Us. And you want to stick around to the end because today we've got our gift card coming from Greek Brothers. And although they don't technically serve lunch, it's one of the best places around for dinner. You can use it at dinner. So your gift card to use anytime you want to. So let's get started. So the question that we're talking about today is your internet ready for everything that the holiday has to bring? Because, let's face it, when it comes to the holidays, there is a lot going on this time of year. Are you feeling it, Liz? Are you feeling it, Ruby?
Oh yeah.
I am feeling it. I am feeling it. And it's always a hill to climb to get ready, isn't it?
That's right. I mean, Ruby, when you joined this morning and I saw you got your tree up in the back over there, I told Liz I got to frantically put together a YK appropriate Christmas background. So I'm feeling the pressure of the holidays already today, and we haven't even got to Thanksgiving yet.
I know.
Right.
And you know what? Some people cringe really hard when they start to see the Christmas stuff happen. And it's like you flip the page over from Halloween and trick-or-treating and really scary stuff. And then all of a sudden, the next day, it's Michael Bublé coming out of the woodwork, and all of the stores, the Targets of the world, are all of a sudden holiday season. But I'm happy that I had a chance to wear my red sweater and some Taylor Swift lipstick this morning. So happy to be here. And it's I like to lean into Christmas. So it's okay if we're cringing a little bit. I understand, but for us Christmas lovers, it's a great time.
Absolutely. So there's a lot going on, and we want to make sure that your internet connection is set up and ready to handle it.
Right. So we're thrilled to be joined by Ruby today. She's a broadband industry expert from Vantage Point Solutions. But more importantly, today, her she's here in her other role, which is a mom of two young daughters who are helping her ring in the holidays, one smart speaker command at a time.
So, and I'm lucky enough that I consider Ruby a good friend. We've known each other for a couple years now, Ruby. We run into each other at a lot of industry meetings, but Ruby brings a fun, relatable perspective to this conversation. And I know that you guys are going to love the stories just as much as the solutions that Liz and I have to share. So, Ruby, why don't you kick it off for us?
Yeah, you bet. Well, hey, thanks for having me. And just so everyone knows, if I'm referencing some colder weather up here, I'm actually up north. I'm in Iowa. But yeah, Russell, agree. I'm happy to be able to be here today, but be able to get to know you and the rest of the YK team over the course of the last couple of years. What a great group of people, you know. I think it goes without saying that you can pick up the phone and call YK anytime. And I've had the pleasure of interacting with so many on your staff. So it's cool to be able to talk and chat in this context. And gosh, it doesn't even really feel like work right this second, right?
It is. We're having a good time.
At least for me anyway. So thank you for the introduction. Thanks for the invitation. You know, I said I love Christmas, ready to lean in, but it doesn't mean that it makes it any easier to make the magic happen. And as a mom, and I'll speak for the dads, the grandmas, the grandpas, the aunts, the uncles out there too, you kind of feel that tug on your heart, right? To make it magical and bring that love and the sparkle and the lights. But man, it's hard work. So before, you know, the crafts explode everywhere and the cookie dough hits the ceiling, something that I really love is coming down the stairs of my house. And then all of a sudden, the lights are glowing in the dark before I even get down there. It's like my house is saying, welcome. And then I go, I'm not sponsored by Chobani or anything, but if anybody hasn't tried the Chobani peppermint mocha creamer,
Yeah.
that's what I'm into right this second. And I love the feeling of making myself ready for the day, right? And coming downstairs, having that quiet moment with my peppermint mocha coffee, and the lights are just welcoming me downstairs. So that's what starts to get me feeling the magic. And as we all know, bringing that magic starts to get so chaotic. By the time you are all of the roles and all of the hats, our girls up north here they're already rehearsing for the Christmas program. We've got Jingle Bell Rock about to be on repeat on all of the speakers. It's certainly a fun time, but with that comes craziness, right? One daughter's watching Frozen 2, the other is FaceTiming with her grandma that happens to live in Florida, and she's showing off our decorations and getting excited about different things. I'm over in the kitchen figuring out, how does Gordon Ramsay make a turkey? I don't know. Like, this is the first year I've had to do that. So like, let's get that going. The smart plugs are in and out of, actually, I have a smart plug on this guy back here, which I'm excited about because it'll welcome me into my office. But sometimes if that's not on, welcoming me downstairs, I'm like, man, where's my magic? Where's my enjoyment? And then of course, like, school's nuts. Someone's uploading a school project. I'm over there. I've moved on to Pinterest trying to find a snack. Gordon Ramsay, you're out. I'm gonna order the turkey instead.
There you go. There you go. I'm with you on that one.
Exactly.
Yeah. And it turns out, you know, holidays need some bandwidth as well.
Yep, absolutely. And I don't know about you, Liz, but I wrote down the coffee creamer on my list. I've got a grocery store trip coming up in the next 24 to 48 hours. I'll add that on my list.
I already have it in the fridge. So
there you go. All right, point taken. Well, before we move on any further to those different scenarios, Ruby, why don't we introduce a poll question, Liz?
Sure. All right. So for our first poll question, we have, what's the most common internet activity at your house during the holidays? Is it streaming movies or music, online shopping and delivery tracking? That'd be me. Smart home decorations and timers, video calls, or all the above?
We'll give everybody just a minute to chime in there. I was thinking the other day, Liz, I was like, okay, I need to get the yard decorations kind of out and sorted. And I know there's always that, I like to get them all set up on timers and working, you know, and kind of with that whole smart home thing. But I feel like that's the hardest part. After you get all the lights put up and put in, it's like, okay, how did that work again last year? And what was the command I used for it? So we've got our responses here, and it looks like we are split down the middle. We've got 50% are streaming music or movies, and the other 50% are doing all of the above. So, Ruby, we got the whole crew. They're doing it all here.
Excellent. I can relate. I see you. I see you doing it all.
So why don't we jump in, Ruby, and kick us off with some of those real life scenarios, and Liz and I will come back with some solutions that we've got here at YK for the holiday crazy.
You bet. You bet. So, when my parents come, I live 5 blocks down from my parents, and when they come down the street, and then we layer on a couple cousins and a couple aunts and uncles, they barely even ask me, oh, where can we set the stuff before it's, hey, what's your Wi-Fi password? Because I have one thing that I have to get done quick, and I want to show Uncle Kevin what this funny video was. Um, that's sometimes the first question they ask, right? So as a host, I want them to feel at home. I want my home internet to make sure that when they walk in, they can do the things that they love and that they want to show other people. I also need to make sure that, I don't know if anybody else can relate to this, but when I pack all those people in my house, all of a sudden everyone is like, open the door. And in Iowa, it's 32 degrees outside, right? Like it is starting to get hot inside. So then I also need to, while my hand is figuring out if the turkey is done or not, and I have to have in my other hand controlling my smart thermostat because that's what people are needing. I want people to feel at home. And I want all of them to feel like they can do everything that they have set out to do that day. And sometimes that means we need guest network set up. Does YK have something like that?
Of course we do. So, Ruby's exactly right. With the holidays, that brings holiday guests and all their devices with them. So the best way to handle that with YK is you can set up a guest network through your Command IQ app. So you'll be able to keep your main devices protected and set up a strong network for your guests to be able to get on. And then also you can even control it where it turns off after they leave. So you don't have to leave it on all the time. It's perfect for a short stay.
Yeah, and one of the really cool things that I've done at my house, Ruby, I've got a big kind of chalkboard bulletin board where, artwork goes and the monthly calendar and that sort of thing. And with the Command IQ app, I actually took a screenshot of where there's a QR code where you can share your networks with your friends and family without giving them the actual password. And so I just took a screenshot of that, printed it out, stuck it on the bulletin board, and I send my friends and family right over there and say, you know what, scan the QR code, and it automatically connects them to the guest network at the house.
That makes it so easy, doesn't it? Like, I think even my Aunt Cheryl could use the QR code. I think everyone's figured that out by now, and how easy to go up and make that happen.
Absolutely. All
Another
right,
thing
so that takes care of guest networks. What else you got for us, Ruby?
Well, another thing I was thinking about, and like I think, let me paint this picture for everyone for a hot second. It's one of those days where I'm in an office building and not at home, but it's one of those days where the kids are off of school unexpectedly, right? And the daycare is also closed, so they're home. I need to work. I also need to order things as everyone else is trying to get their stuff done. My husband's also home. I need to run out and grab errands. So I'm working from home this day, but I still have to get things done. So one of us is on a Zoom call. The other one is downstairs in the other office trying to upload whatever he needs to do. The girls are streaming and they are on probably two different TVs if we're being really realistic, right? Because watching one single thing caused an issue. So I've got two TVs streaming, we've got uploads, we've got music streaming in the background. I'm trying to have a call. Let's talk about, are there any options for me, or what would you recommend if I really needed to get that work done? Because realistically, if I get that done, I can go move on to the rest of the stuff. I can spend time with my family. Is there a way to prioritize some of the things that me, the mom, the dad, needs to get done inside the house.
Absolutely, Ruby. And that's one of the coolest features that I think that is a part of the Command IQ app is that there is the device prioritization. You can make sure that like your laptop has got first dibs on all of the bandwidth. Or if anybody's doing any learning, maybe they came home a little bit early from college. They've got that school tablet and you can set those priorities so that those devices have access to the bandwidth before everybody else takes it up and is streaming Frozen in the other room or uploading those elf videos or that sort of a thing. And I think one of the things that you also consider, it's not just when you've got a bunch of people coming over for Thanksgiving or Christmas dinner, that sort of thing, but a lot of people, they've got kids that come home from college over the holidays, and a lot of the college age kids are just really into gaming. So you've got somebody who's, upstairs in the game room or down in the basement, and they're playing Call of Duty or they're playing Fortnite and they're, hogging all the bandwidth in your house. And like you said, you're still working from home and have to get that Zoom call done. You can basically say, hey, guess who gets first dibs on this? And you've got complete control over it.
Man, that would be great. Let's get this stuff done so then we can move on to the magic, right?
Absolutely.
So another thing that we've been chatting about, I don't know a whole lot about cybersecurity. If you asked me, Ruby, what's the first thing you would do to protect your home network from your Uncle Dan's Android that looks like it came from 1997? I don't even know what impact would that have. So keeping our network safe, right? That means I can continue bringing the magic. I can continue working. The turkey recipe can continue happening, and we're not a full stop in a really critical time where I don't know how to fix that. Is there something I can do to help protect my house?
Of course,
Well,
of course.
and before you jump into that, Liz, I mean, we all know that we're an equal opportunity provider for all devices, but you know how you and I feel about Uncle Rick's vintage Android device.
Mhm. I know exactly how I feel about that. Yeah, that's we all have that uncle. And that's where Protect IQ comes in. It quietly monitors your network in the background, so it blocks viruses, malware, phishing attempts, anything that's suspicious that from any device connected to your network, it's going to block it. So it works in the background. It does the work for you, so you don't have to worry about it. And it's an easy add-on to our internet packages. So if you're interested in that, anybody that has our service can just call us and we can make it happen for them. I personally use it at my home and it does its job. And I love that I don't have to really do anything on my end. Once it's set up, then it just notifies me whenever there's something happening on the network.
It's awesome. And knowing that it's called Protect IQ, does that include anything about like parental controls, or like how can I make sure that the kids that are in the house are browsing safely?
So yeah, we have something for that too. We have what's called Experience IQ, which is also part of the Command IQ app that allows you to set those limits for your children. You can set time limits, you can set ratings, you can do all that just within the app. So it makes it super simple to make sure that they're not getting into anything they shouldn't.
And
Mm.
I tell you what, Ruby, with kind of keeping the Christmas theme, and when you've got a kid that is on the naughty list, you can basically turn off all connectivity to every device associated with that kid's profile. Just shut them down in about one click.
Hey, we like that. Our folks don't have any tablets or anything yet, but if you are a parent who is about to invite that into your home, that sounds like a great tool to use to make sure that you're doing it the way that it needs to be done, and making sure everybody's got your network is protected from their devices and they're protected from their devices, right? All at the
And
same time.
Right.
I tell you what, Ruby, you bring up a good point. With those new devices coming, with those parental controls and like, we offer bark for the cyberbullying and that sort of thing. Studies show that it's better to have that stuff set up ahead of time, because once you give that open device to the child and they're used to not having those limits, it's a lot harder to put those limits in place rather than just here's the device, here are the limits that are already put on it, and this is what they know from the get-go. So that's a good point as people are planning for new devices for this year for Christmas. Make sure you've got those parental controls and monitoring solutions in place so that it's just established from day one.
That's so cool. And you used a word I'm not super familiar with, Russell or Liz. What's bark? Can you tell me more about a couple details about that?
I'll tell you real quick that Bark is a solution that you can put in place for all the devices in your home. It monitors cyberbullying. It sets content limits. It sets screen time limits. It monitors everything that happens on the kid's device, whether it's happening on Instagram or an email or text messages. It's just really kind of a catch-all for everything that you need to have to protect your children as they're using those smart devices. And I think, Liz, if you go back to our Connect and Protect series, was that in August we covered that one? And we actually did a
Yes.
full 45-minute webinar just on Bark. So that's a part of our library on our YouTube playlist.
Right. And the best thing about Bark is it protects the phone even when it's away from the house or the tablet. It go wherever the device is at, it's gonna keep monitoring it away from the home.
That's so cool. Yeah, when it's time for us to invite that in, I'm definitely going to want a little bit of monitoring, a little bit of control would be good, right?
Absolutely.
Okay. So we've talked about coming down the stairs. The smart plugs have put my lights on for me so I can feel that magic. We've talked about prioritizing when I really need to get something done. There's settings and things that can happen so my work can get done maybe over the streaming. And we've talked about protecting our network, protecting our devices, and protecting ourselves, right, from things that we need to put some limits on. Another thing as I was thinking about, okay, how does the internet, how does my Wi-Fi service, how does my internet service at my house, what would be a real tripping hazard if it wasn't working properly? And I mentioned I work outside of the home. I've got an office outside of my house. But when I've got an important delivery about to happen, and maybe it is on the more expensive side, or up here in Iowa, don't like the weather, wait 5 minutes, it'll change. So if it's going to rain, sleet, snow, and otherwise be terrible, which it's going to turn that way here pretty quickly here in the Midwest, something else that I really rely on to notify me when that package has been delivered that I really need to bring in is all of my security and the cameras that are on wherever they are on my house, on the front door. So I'm kind of like a ninja level gift tracker, or at least I can call my husband and say, hey, the new thing is here. Go get it. It's a new phone. Or it's I can check the weather and make sure and monitoring that. But more than that, it's not just about packages. Sometimes I think it's really cool when you catch those really fun moments on those cameras, right? When maybe your daughter comes home and she picks up the package and it's like some kind of special wrapping on it, and like being able to see her excitement and see different people that way is always really cool. So what does YK provide from that perspective? Do you do cameras? How does this work?
Absolutely, Ruby. And you talk about being a ninja level package tracker, that you're speaking mine and Liz's language here. We are both guilty of way too much online shopping, and next day delivery just isn't quite fast enough for either one of us. So we feel you on that.
Mm.
But I mean, absolutely. Whether you're expecting gifts or groceries, I mean, folks are used to doing kind of a curbside. We're seeing more and more where even local grocery stores and pharmacies are doing deliveries. we've got a partnership with Arlo, and YK offers Arlo security cameras just to kind of give you that peace of mind and to be able to keep an eye on things no matter where you're at in the world. Whether you're, in the kitchen and waiting for that ingredient to get delivered, or you're across country on a business meeting and you're waiting for that next gift to show up on the front porch. They're motion activated. You can see live video on them, and you can even talk back and forth with a delivery person or someone who's at your front door. It gives you that two-way audio feature. So, and when you pair those with the YK Wi-Fi, it's smooth sailing after that. So no matter how much holiday traffic you've got going or how many packages you're having delivered, we've got you covered from a network standpoint, making sure that you've got plenty of coverage to get those cameras set up and keep an eye on just about anything.
That would be great. Please, please. Can I have that? I need that. Um, Another thing that has been kind of on my mind is my package level ready to tackle these new devices that might be coming into my home. I'll tell you what, I just sent a link to my husband last night for a refurbished, it doesn't need to be new, but a refurbished Peloton that's way cheaper than the big one. So it's fancy, right? Because it's that, but it also adds another element of, okay, another device, more streaming, something that I would love to have ready to go out of the box. And I know that other people are going to get gifts that you can barely get them charged up fast enough so that they're able to use them. How do I make sure that I'm ready to tackle some of those new devices? And how do I know if what I'm currently experiencing is enough to make that happen?
Right. So the good thing is, I mean, every year technology does get bigger and better. There's no denying that. And your internet connection has to keep up. So with YK, whether it's a smart speaker, gaming console, whatever Santa brings you this Christmas, we'll make sure that you're on the appropriate plan for you. So we have all the tools here to check that. And we can upgrade your speed tier to the next level to make sure that your whole home is ready for all those devices. We also offer mesh Wi-Fi systems to keep whether it's your bedroom, your garage, playroom, back patio, all of that fully covered and connected, so you have the best experience.
That is so cool. So if somebody is wondering and they just want to check, what's the first thing that they should do? Should they give you a call, or
Yeah,
what's your piece
just
of
give us
advice?
a call. Yeah, give us a call and we can analyze your account and just make sure you are on the best plan for what you're utilizing now. And if not, we can discuss upgrade options if needed and get you on the right plan for what your family's using.
Very cool. I would love that. The other thing I was thinking about, and we've been lucky enough up here in the Midwest in Iowa to have really, really mild like Christmas days. So, you know, Russell's gonna make fun of me because up here when it turns like 60 degrees and after it's been a long cold winter, like people are running outside without their shirts on. And I know sometimes in the South, 60 to 50 degrees is the cutoff to put your puff on, right?
That's right.
Um,
That's right.
but up here, since we have the last couple of years, we've had such a mild Christmas day, it's been really cool to take advantage of some of our outdoor spaces. But then some of the magic comes, right? When you can have your fire pit and the light bulbs are happening, and right at the right moment, the right music plays over your smart speakers. That's where some of the best memories happen, and when we can interact with each other. And gosh, the last thing you want to happen is like fumbling around with how to make Silent Night play at the exact right time. And I want to be able to make sure that my tech is keeping up. So, what happens? What are your Christmas days like down there in South Texas? And what makes that magic happen outdoor wise for you?
Well, and like you said, Ruby, you talk about in Iowa, wait a few minutes, the weather's going to change. We feel the same way here. On Monday, it may have been too cold at night to be out by a fire pit around here, but later in the week now, we might need misters and coolers to keep you cool enough to stand and be outside. So it's full spectrum here, but the good thing is, whether you're roasting those marshmallows over the fire pit, or like I said, maybe you're standing under a fan and it's December in South Texas, because it could really happen. We've got you covered for everything outside. If you've got a playlist going and you want to stream the holiday classics outdoors, no matter what the weather is, we can extend that Wi-Fi signal out to the patio. We can get it to the driveway. If you want to set up an outdoor projector and stream those holiday movies out in the back porch, we've got you covered. So that's one of the great things that we've seen over the last couple of years is we've got a lot of tools in place to make sure that you've got coverage over your entire property, not just in the house, but outside as well. And we can get you fixed up to make sure you've got connectivity. For us, Ruby, it's really popular. As we've been in football season, people want to get connectivity out to their barns and have barn parties and host, they've got a TV in the barn and everybody comes over and cooks and watch the game and that sort of thing. So we've actually had a lot of customers that have added connectivity to their barns to be able to extend that signal outside.
Oh, wow. That sounds really cool. So like the she shed out back, I can still have good coverage out there, right?
You can check on those Pinterest projects as you're actively working on them all the way out in the she shed.
That would be fantastic. Sign me up.
So, well, those are some great scenarios, and we hope that Liz and I gave you some great solutions for all of those, Ruby. And now that we've kind of heard some of those, why don't we go into our second poll question, Liz?
All right.
And my poll question thing went away. Let's get back to that. Here we go.
All right. So for this question, what's your biggest concern about your internet this holiday season? Is it too many devices online, working from home while you have guests, security, unknown devices, not enough coverage, or you're just not sure, you just want it to work?
And while we give everybody just a minute to reply there, remember that if you've had any questions, if you've, thought of a question, go ahead and drop that into the chat. We'll be doing Q&A here in just a second. And let's go ahead and end the poll and share the results. And we've got a little bit of everything. Seems like for the most part, we're most worried about too many devices online, but also working from home with guests. We've got some security concerns, and there's that one that we all like. We just want it to work at the end of the day. So let's move into that holiday checklist that we've got for you. So you want to make sure that before you kick off the holidays officially, here's the checklist. You want to make sure that you've got a guest network set up in Command IQ. And if you want to have that cheat, like I've got, take a screenshot of that QR code, stick it on the wall, stick it on the refrigerator, and just send folks over there to scan that QR code, make it easy on you and everyone else. Second of all, prioritize those most used devices. If you've got, a certain laptop or a certain tablet that you need to make sure that it always has first dibs on that bandwidth, go ahead and jump into the Command IQ app and make sure that you give that device priority over the bandwidth. Number 3, turn on Protect IQ. Make sure that your network has protection on it and that you're, kind of, what do we say, Uncle Rick's vintage Android? We're keeping all of that blocked and away. And the great thing about it is it runs in the background and you never have to worry about it. Number 4, add or adjust those Arlo cameras. Make sure that you've got them on the porch and over the driveway. Just as a reminder, this is a time that there are a lot of crimes going on as far as people snatching packages off of front porches. So make sure you've got that camera set up and ready to go before all those holiday deliveries start showing up on your doorstep. Number 5, extend your Wi-Fi coverage for patios and outdoor spaces, whether we talked about the barn or the fire pit, or maybe you've got a camera that's out there on the front. Go ahead and make sure that you've got your coverage for all of those devices. The 6th one, upgrade your speed package if you're expecting those new devices. Remember, everything that you wrap up under the tree, if it's got a Wi-Fi connection, you're adding on to the bandwidth that's going to be needed in your household. So make sure you're covered ahead of time. And last, just make sure you've got that Command IQ ready to go. That app, it really is the heartbeat for everything that's around your network. So make sure it's downloaded, make sure that you're logged in using it, and have it ready to go for the holiday craziness. And we talked about reminder for Q&A if you've got any questions. And while those questions come in, Liz, why don't you talk to us a little bit about support?
Sure. So anytime you need to reach us, you can call us at 361-771-3334 or visit us at ykc.com/support. You can utilize your Command IQ app, or you can also just stop by one of our local offices. Our office here in Ganado is open Monday through Friday, 8 to 5, but our tech support is available by phone or chat 24/7, 365 days a year.
Awesome. Thanks, Liz. So we do have our first question that came in. And the question is, why should I set up a guest network instead of just letting family and friends connect to my regular network? That is an excellent question. And so, we talked about having Protect IQ, and you've got that running on your home network, and it's protecting all of your devices, your kids' devices, and it's keeping everything blocked. But Uncle Rick and his vintage Android probably doesn't have Protect IQ at home. So who knows what type of malware he has downloaded, or what viruses he's got on his devices. And when he comes in and connects to your regular network, every other device that you've got on that network is subject to that malware, those viruses. So whenever you create that guest network, you're kind of segregating that part of your network off and keeping your main network connected. So excellent question. And that's why you definitely want to do that. Let's see, Liz, we've got another question here. How do I know that Protect IQ is actually working?
So you can actually see that Protect IQ is enabled in the Command IQ app. And the second part of that is you're going to get notifications. So if something is ever blocked or if anything arises, you're going to get a notification through that app. So you can simply go to the app and check to make sure that it is in fact turned on. It'll show that it's enabled, and then you'll also be getting those alerts. And I can pretty much guarantee if you have any devices connected to your network, you're going to get an alert at least once or twice, because it's just the smallest things. I'll start streaming a show on HBO Max and I'll get an alert. Or if I'm cruising through Facebook and watching videos, I'll sometimes get an alert. So there's all kinds of things out there that you don't even know about that it's blocking for you.
All right. Let's see. And we've got, what is the best way to check to see if I need a speed upgrade before the new holiday tech arrives? So kind of similar to like what you asked, Ruby, how do I know if that's what I need? One of the first steps you could do is in the Command IQ app, there is a speed test feature. So you can see that you're getting all of your speeds, but also consider just how many devices are you expecting to add? Are you adding smart TVs? Are you adding tablets, gaming consoles? And like I said earlier, every device that you add is going to take another piece of that bandwidth. So, if your home is going to go from 10 devices to 20 devices between December 24th and December 25th, we might want to go ahead and talk about having that upgraded before Christmas morning so that everybody's excited. They can open those gifts, get them connected, and start using them right away. And, we're not buffering on this TV or, failing on that device. Let's see. Ruby, we've got a question that came in for you. Do you have any holiday tech traditions at your house that you or your daughters are putting in place now that they're getting older?
Oh, that's a good question. So I mentioned earlier, we've got grandparents down in Florida, right? And nothing makes them happier than being able to send the gifts ahead of time. And my mother-in-law does a fantastic job wrapping the presents up and sending them in the box, and being able to have them on a FaceTime or a call from a Zoom call. It really makes it worth it to have that connection be really, really wonderful when we can share those moments back and forth. Um, one of the things that we've started doing now that the girls are a little bit older is actually I've already blocked this off. And I think I blocked it off for this Saturday, but we have like the Christmas day at home where everybody comes and decorates and we're making cookies. And at the same time, we are having the Hallmark channel playing in the background, which is streaming over an internet line, right? So we love having that going and having music streaming all day long and having it really we're feeling the magic on that day. And something special, and I mentioned when Silent Night plays at the exact right time. Maybe some of you have something like this. We have a really, really cool nativity scene that at the
Okay.
end of the day, to kind of put the cherry on top of the decorating, we put that and we set that up. And that is one of the most meaningful things that we do in my family is setting that up and having that be with the right song in the background at the right time so that you can see the look in the little girl's eyes and really feel like you're really doing it, like you're checking all those mental boxes of magic that you want to check. um, you're getting through that list and really bringing that magic. So those are a couple of things that we've put in place that happen to do with tech, right?
Yeah.
But really your access and having a great connection really make the magic happen.
Cool. Well, thanks for sharing that with us, Ruby. So our next event, like we talked about, is our last event. So in December, on December 11th, you can jump back here. Liz and I are going to go through and talk about all of the other topics that we covered January through November. So we're going to do a quick crash course on all of the topics that have been covered as a part of our Connect and Protect web series. And we're going to have another promotion and we're going to have another lunch giveaway. So be sure to join us for that on December 11th. And you can sign up online, ykc.com/connect-protect. And Liz, what is our November promo that we've got for everybody?
Our November promo is a 1 month free of internet whenever you get new service or upgrade your existing service with us. All you have to do is mention the November webinar and you'll get that promotion.
Awesome. And what do you say we draw the gift card for lunch?
Yes.
So we've got a $25 gift card from Greek Brothers in El Campo. And like I said, I don't think they're open for lunch, but you can definitely use it for dinner. And let's spin the wheel here, Liz. And the gift card is going to go to Peggy Vasquez. So congratulations, Peggy. We'll reach out. We'll get you your gift card. And Ruby, why don't you help us close it up and wrap it up for the day?
You bet. Well, hey, thanks for having me. It was fantastic to work with the both of you and the rest of the YK team. I'm putting some ideas together on, gosh, how does the internet make the magic happen? So from the glitter crafts that are going to clog my drains to Mariah Carey on demand all the time, because we know we love the routine, the dance routine. We have a whole thing. Um, our house is chaos, but a happy chaos and a magic chaos at the same time. What makes it really worth it is when I'm driving home and we know the time just changed. When I drive home and my lights are already on inside, it's got that little twinkle. It's like the house is welcoming me home. Woo, there's no better sight, right? So, I mean, thanks to everybody at YK down there in South Texas. Some of that stuff can just work. You don't have to think about it. You can take that out of your mental load for the magic bringing. And that means you get to focus on the things that really matter, like spending the time and for you to be able to feel the magic too. So highly encourage anybody that has YK service, ask questions, dig deeper. I know the YK team would be happy to help you out.
Absolutely. And Ruby, thank you so much for sharing a fun and honest look at the way the holidays really make you feel, but how to keep that home connected. It's always a joy seeing you. Thank you for joining us. We really appreciate it.
Thank you.
And to everybody tuning in today, thank you for joining us. We hope you feel more prepared, less stressed, and ready to enjoy all the magic that the season has to offer, especially with internet that just works from YK.
Yep. And don't wait till the cookies are burning and the internet's buffering. Call us now. We'll get you holiday ready internet. Thanks, everybody. Have a great day.
Hi, guys.